crystals.
What is it that Nina did on Drag Race? It's drag. Or it's magic.
Magic. Jerk 2 off.
That's how you make magic.
Leche. Leche. Leche.
It's the Dean's Room where I see you and you see me. The Dean's Room where we spillin' all that tea. The Dean's Room where we talking all that goss. The Dean's Room, but you know that I'm the boss.
Hola todos! It is your favorite Dean and your favorite Tia, Hiliana Perez. And tonight, it is the fifth episode of the Dean's Room! And tonight, I have a very, very special guest. Unfortunately, they did cancel on me, so I just had to settle for this bitch right here. Please say hello to Soy Queen! Are you a robot?
What's my line?
Oh, we didn't practice that one. I forgot to give you your line. I'm sorry, sweetie. So, I see you got a little tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a long wait for you while you were getting ready. So I went down to their basement. I said hi to AJ, and then I laid in the tanning bed.
Listen, we do have a tanning bed for all of our guests
Yeah.
in case they would like to tan while I am getting ready. Because trust me, it's a process to look like this.
Okay. And now I have to go see a doctor because I look like this.
That was a natural reaction, y'all. That was a natural reaction. But I love this look, bitch.
Thank you.
I think it's sickening.
Thank you.
I love the hair.
Thank you.
I love the little bikini over here.
It's summer season, so I had to do my cut.
It's summer body,
It's summer
right?
body ready. Let's go to the beach.
Each.
Let's go get away. They say what they're gonna say. Have a drink. Clink. These are not Bud Lights.
I mean, but if they were, we would be extra gay, right? Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they're saying? Drink a Bud Light, you're gay?
It was more like smear the queer for me, but
Oh, okay. Well, thankfully we're not drinking Bud Light.
no. They also just are gross.
Whenever I see someone drink Bud Light, I'm like, how's your water?
I'm just like, bread? Would you want some butter with that bread?
Like, it's...
Yeah. I'd rather have like lime and Corona, or like Angry Orchard, or like a Reds, or a Blue Moon. I could do a Blue Moon beer.
Okay.
That's about it. I feel like those are the gay beers.
You know what? You're right. I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
gays do Blue Moon, actually.
That should be, I don't know. I feel like that should be something, like the gay beers, and then it's just...
The gay beers?
Yeah.
Let's market that.
And then it's like a documentary on like queer childhoods. Because it's like play on word, gay beers, but it's like the gay years.
Gotcha. Okay, it took me a minute.
It took me a minute too.
But I got there, bitch. Got there. Okay, well, welcome to the Dean's Room.
Yay, thanks for having me.
Of course, and I'm so excited to talk all this tea with you.
Hunty.
And just have fun. And
me
kiki.
too. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to sit on this couch.
Ooh, it's comfy.
Yes. $400 pillows.
Cheers, bitch.
Rich woman.
Soy Queen.
Yes.
So, funny thing. The first time that I've actually met you was you were working a glow party at Axis.
Okay, yeah.
And I recently had moved here. Like, it was probably like 2 or 3 months after moving here.
Okay.
So you did not know me at all.
Yeah.
And I went up to you and like you painted my face and I was like, oh, what's your name? I love your costume. Like you had some like a hero costume, I think. It was, I don't know. It was some type of costume you had. But I was like, I like that. And I was like, what's your name? You're like, Soy Queen. And in my head, I was like, Soy Queen. Like soybeans? Or is the bitch like that, like, does she speak Spanish? And it's like, Soy Queen. Or like, I was just kind of like, I remember that all the time. Like,
Yeah.
that is my first, like, vivid memory of you.
Okay.
Is that moment. And
Yeah.
ever since then, I just Soy Queen.
Yeah.
That has always stuck in my mind.
Yeah.
So to me, that is such a smart name to have as an
Thank you.
entertainer.
Thank you.
Because it is such an iconic, different, and
Yeah.
you know, name that's
Yeah.
like fucking soy. Like
Yeah.
what? Soy Queen.
Yeah.
So how did that even come about?
So I first discovered drag through watching the pageant documentary on Netflix, which is about the Miss Gay America pageant system.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I was
With
like,
pork chop in it.
Yeah, pork chops
Alyssa
in
Edwards
it.
is in
Alyssa
it.
Edwards, Coco Montrese. So many amazing
Yep.
drag entertainers, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. I can't believe these like grown men are doing it. Like
Yep.
this gives me comfortability in being feminine. And then my best friend in high school, who was a year older than me, I told her about it. She's a lesbian, and we watched it together. And then she told me about Drag Race. And so I started watching Drag Race. I think it was right around when season 4 came out or was like airing. So I watched Drag Race, and I really identified with Sharon and Raja. And then fast forward to season 6, I really identified with Milk.
Oh my god.
From Drag Race.
Okay.
And at this time, I like was so in like just in watching Drag Race on reruns, watching the pageant documentary on reruns, and being like, I want to do this, but I have stage fright. I have like anxiety, public speaking. Like I just know I'll never be able to do it. I live in the middle of nowhere. Like no. And then I graduated from high school. Was going to drag shows in Columbus when I turned 18, and I was like driving an hour every single weekend, and like met Nina in Virginia. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to do drag once before I go to college. I'm going to do it once before I go to college. And so I was like, what's my drag name going to be? And I really identified with Milk from Drag Race, and her drag family is called the Dairy Queens.
Right.
And so each person has a dairy product name. So Milk's drag daughter is Skimberly, and then her ex-husband is Yoo-Hoo Bitch. So I was like, what is it going to be? I almost named myself 2%.
Oh my god.
I know. I'm kind of mad that I didn't. But I was like, one day I want to do pageantry like in the pageant documentary, and I feel like if I do alternative fashion drag and have the name 2%, I'll never win a pageant.
Right. True.
So I was like, what's something that's still dairy related? And I was home from college, and a soy milk commercial came on the TV. And I was like, Soy, that's my name. And then Facebook, I made a Facebook, and they're like, you have to have a last name. So I was like, I'll just put Queen, because Milk on Instagram at the time was Milk Queen. So I was like, I'll just do Soy Queen. And then fast forward to now, and then rewind like 2 years ago. And I think it might have been Alice or Hunty was like, you know, in Spanish, that's I'm Queen. And I said, well, bitch, duh, it's fitting. So my long-winded answer to that question is a commercial on TV.
Oh my gosh. Hey, that's how I got my name too. A fucking commercial.
Oh, work.
I'm just kidding.
I thought it was like in a telenovela or something, and you were like, bitch.
That's it.
I'm
That's
her.
the one.
I'm her.
No, I wish there were so many iconic fucking characters in telenovelas that I
believe it.
You know, but
There's this one, it's my favorite, and it's of this girl and she gets shoved.
Into the car.
And no, she gets shoved, and she has this shawl on, and she's spinning, and as the shawl comes off, it latches to a door, and then it chokes her. And she's like,
shut the fuck up. I can so see that.
yeah.
I can so see
I'm like,
that.
work, mama.
That is acting.
Yeah.
That's how I get all my acting skills from.
It's drag. It's art.
It's fucking art. It is. So, Soy Queen.
Yes. Hiliana Perez.
It came from a fucking commercial.
Yeah, it came from the one...
And fascination for Drag Race and Milk.
Yeah, it came from... Because I went to school for fashion design.
Right.
So it came from this camp fashion take on drag, which that's like, if I would have not dropped out of college, my line of clothing that I would always release would be like Moschino, where it's very couture but camp. And so I was like, it was my love for that, my love for drag, and then a TV commercial, and just wanting to be in a drag family that's like naming themselves after milk products.
I mean, fuck yeah.
Like, how fucking dumb.
Like, why not?
I didn't want to be fucking like Bethany, Sasha Fierce, Taylor Gomez the third. Like
Taylor Gomez the third.
I mean, just like everybody's name is fucking like
something. Mm-hmm.
Like Alice. Like I'm just kidding. Canceled. But no, I was like, I don't want my name to be like Bethany.
Yeah,
like,
something basic.
I don't want to be a basic bitch. I mean, I'm kind of a basic bitch, but I wanted to be
unique with your name, and you were.
Unique basic bitch, yeah.
Hey. That's fine.
Okay.
It worked.
And then everybody's like, soy bean. Somebody came up to me and they're like, soy sauce. And I was like, mama, no. No, I am white. I am alabaster. I am corn-fed and corn-raised. Nope, not soy sauce, mama.
Not
soy sauce
here.
No.
No sauce.
Don't. We're not claiming that, bitch.
Okay, what should I want to have a nickname for you now. Soy. What's Soy Candle?
But, like, you know what's funny about that? Is my name is 3 letters. And to make it a nickname, you now have to make it longer. Typically,
that's so funny!
Nicknames are too short.
You're right, so.
I'm gonna walk in and she's gonna be like, Soy Leche, Hiliana Perez, Soybean a la carte the third, hey, bitch! And people are gonna be like, what? You're gonna be like, that's her nickname.
That's her nickname.
And it's never the same.
That is so funny! That is so funny. Okay, I'm gonna have to think of that one, cause soy. Well, how can you shorten soy? So.
Hey. Or you could say, hey, oi.
Hey, oi. Hey, oi. I feel like we're just trying to imitate a bad fucking accent at that point. Hey, oi. Hey, oi.
It's like somebody's grandma trying to say, hey, Roy!
Hey, Roy! Hey, hey. I'm falling in. I can't get up. I'm feeling good. Feeling good, feeling gorgeous. The song. Isn't there a song? Looking good and feeling gorgeous. Right? Feeling good, looking gorgeous.
We're going to have to look that up. We'll be back to you on next week's episode.
We'll table that. So, you did mention going to fashion school. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I love about your drag aesthetic and just your drag in general is how inspired you are by fashion in general.
Thank you.
You are such a fashionable bitch.
I love it.
Oh my god. I hate you for it because it's like it's good. So pretty. Like it's just like so creative, right?
Thank
you can tell the attention to detail that you put into your looks.
Thank you.
Because that is one thing when it comes to fashion is like the attention to detail that you have to things, right? So I am always loving any look that you have, and I'm like, okay, work it. Work. Like, you know what? I wish I had that, but it's okay. It just pushes me to be like, you know what? I want to look like her. Okay, so I want to look fashionable too. So I honestly love your fashion sense.
Thank you.
It is amazing.
Thank you.
So what got you into fashion? I mean, obviously you're gay.
What? I'm a fag.
So
Am I allowed to say fag on camera?
No.
No, I'm not. Whatever.
You can say faggot.
Faggot?
Like faggot.
Yeah. I'm here for a baguette, faggot.
Yes. So, fashion, how did it come into your life?
I've always loved it. I remember growing up and, like, literally it is like that fucking... Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. Oh, I am? I can't?
Yeah,
okay.
Oh. Listen, this is so chill.
Okay, perfect. I didn't know. Fuck. But no, I would just, like, it's a very Hallmark movie. Like, I remember growing up, watching my mom do her makeup. Like, I loved when I would be home alone, like, sneaking into her room, locking the door, and, like, playing in her heels, playing in her dresses, playing in her makeup and jewelry. And then my older sister is 6 years older than me, and I always looked up to her. And so, like, I just loved playing with all of her Barbie dolls that she had, and, like... It's just something I've always been attracted to and drawn to. I don't know why I said attracted. That doesn't make sense, I guess. Yeah, attracted to.
Well, yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
But it's just something I've always felt correct in. And then with bullying and everything, I suppressed that. And then when I got into high school and, like, came out and was like, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to get out of this hometown. And that's just the path. And then I dropped out of college because I was more interested in drag, because I can do makeup and hair and jewelry and
all of it.
I can wear the clothes that I couldn't wear as Hunter. I can
Right.
now wear as this person. So it's just always been a internal connection. Like it's never been a question. I've just
Right.
always me and fashion.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just really resonated with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to fashion, you have to have a personal connection to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that moment, once you have a personal connection to something, you really are able to access a lot of creativity in that form, because you just have a lot of passion for it, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it just really unlocks all of that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of pushes you to be better and to outdo yourself, because that's one of the things that entertainers that we have to do is constantly elevate, and fashion is about elevating. What is it that fucking Heidi Klum says? One day you're in, one day, you know, and one day you're out.
One of my favorite people who, like, she never studied fashion. She had no intentions of being in fashion, but then she just turned 101, I think. Iris Apfel is her name, and she's this little old woman that lives in New York, and she wears these you've seen photos of her, I know. She wears the huge round glasses, and she has this chunky jewelry on that weighs more than her, and she's always wearing mixed match patterns. But she just has always had a sense for fashion, and then in her older age, she played with color and texture and patterns, and just wore this outlandish stuff living in New York, and then she became a fashion icon, and now teaches at fashion schools.
Really?
And, like, will go do lessons, and she's had 2 Barbie dolls released in honor of her. She's written but she, I can't remember because I drank a little, I've had a pain a little, but she says something along the lines of, like, anybody can look at a catalog and just buy an outfit. Anybody can pay somebody to put together a look for them, but not everybody can have taste and have true actual style themselves and, like, that connection to fashion. And when I'll look it up and post it on Facebook.
Yes.
Whatever.
Because I definitely want
like, when she said that, I connected with it, because then, like, it's so true. Like, you can look at something and copy it, but, like, to sit down and just piece something together or pull something from scratch, like, it's a talent.
It really is.
And not everybody has that, and I feel like not a lot of people fully appreciate it. Because, like, my drag is very about the look.
Yeah.
Like, that's very, very, I mean, entertaining is important to me, but the look is so important to me. It's my expression. And people will just discredit that. Like, it's nothing. Like, oh, you just bought it and threw it on. Like, no, it's thought about.
There's a concept.
It's designed. It's realized. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's, I see fashion as such an art movement, honestly. I mean, fashion in general throughout the ages, how much that has changed.
Yeah.
With, first of all, gender being created
Yeah.
and fucking, and norms being
Yeah.
forced upon us that
Yeah.
really changed fashion. Because to begin with, dresses and heels, wigs were all typically worn by males,
Because
right?
women weren't allowed to leave the house. They had to stay
Exactly.
home, and, like, men wore, heels were created.
For like stature, right?
It was like, it was because of the filth in the streets. So, like, trash, people's bodily fluids and stuff like that, because they didn't have plumbing. Like, it was worn so that, because a way to show that you had money is by how much fabric you had on.
Yeah.
So if you had this long 10-foot train and this huge puffy coat, that meant you were rich, because you could afford all of that custom fabric. You were able to pay for it to be constructed and made for you. And so to keep it out of the filth and grime on the streets, because at that time everything was custom made, you wore the same look for, like, ever.
Right.
And all of that, but it was so that it didn't get dirty and it kept you up off the street.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm over here thinking it was because of, like, social class, like stature.
It might be in some cultures. I'm pretty positive, I'm sure in some cultures that is a thing, but just in, like, mainstream fashion, it was literally to keep the wealthy's clothes, like, wealthy rich people's clothes, off of the filth and grime of the roads.
No, that's bougie.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And that's why, like, and you see especially when women start to leave the house more and stuff in fashion, why dresses and stuff got shorter up to the ankle, and they never like drug and had trains because
Okay, bitch.
cities got more and more gross.
Word.
Yeah,
I
mama.
love learning about fashion like that.
I know. I love it.
Gosh. Okay, so what is or who is your favorite designer?
I would have to say top two would be Alexander McQueen and then the brand Moschino. Alexander McQueen is definitely number one. I just love his dark fashion and his couture, and it's all based off of like English, or I think no, it's off of Scottish culture. So I really love him, and then Moschino because of the camp and all of that. But
I love Moschino.
yeah,
I one day would love to own some Moschino.
one of my I think it was my second pageant gown I ever had made was inspired by a fall 2017.
Is it the caution?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's inspired by one of his fashion shows, and he came out with the caution tape print, and it was 1950s Christian Dior silhouette.
The silhouette, the big old.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to turn this into a gown, and so I probably did like 5 to 10 sketches, and then I reached out to Patrick Howell, and I was like, so these are my sketches, these are my ideas. Went down to Kentucky, and we sat down for a day and just drew things up until we had the full look fully realized.
I when I first like moved into the scene though, and I added you on social media, that's when one of the first things I saw was like work.
Thank you.
I love that gown.
It no longer fits me because it was made out of non-stretch fabric.
Okay.
So I even put it on without any drag body on, and it won't zip. So I sold it to Anadonia Delight.
Oh my god.
And she actually had it taken in.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I had it fucking taken in. Oh. So, bitch, fuck you. But I'm gonna get it remade because I want to go to EOY, which is Entertainer of the Year, and I have always wanted to take that dress, but since it no longer fits me, I have to get a new one made. So
yes, I can't wait to see what the new version would be.
Thank you. I have some ideas.
Oh,
yes.
I can't wait for that. So just stick around for that, because it's what fashion.
What is it, Naomi and Valentino? Club 90s. We can do it.
Wow! So talking about work!
That was my night terror.
Oh my gosh, Soy Queen.
Yes.
Other than being a fabulous fashion model, what do you do for work? Like, what is your day job?
So during the day, I work at a school for kids with autism and developmental disabilities.
Awesome.
I am on our behavior team. So that just means, like, so we have, like, a system of, like, an earn system. Mm-hmm. So if the students follow all of their expectations and their class schedule, they can earn.
Right.
Like 5 to 10 minutes of a preferred activity. And that just helps, like, really reinforce being able to do work and following expectations and just what we're trying to work on with them. So on the behavior team, we answer a lot of those calls, but then we also deal with high behavior students. So my job is to ensure that students can advocate for themselves, that they know how to express what they need, how to regulate their emotions and their feelings, and also just how to handle situations, and to help them get back on track and, like, just be there as a reminder, but then also just be a positive reinforcement for them and to be there for them. So that's my job. My body's sore a lot. I get a lot of bumps and bruises and scratches, but I love it. It's a job that is extremely underpaid. The education system is an underpaid workplace. But then people who work with people who have special needs, it's even beneath that. So just, it's a rewarding job. Even though I don't make a lot of money, I see the change that I'm making in these kids' lives. And so even though I wish I made more money, I love my kids.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think definitely, like you said, that it is such an underpaid, first of all, industry. Just teaching in general education.
Yeah.
So underpaid.
Yeah.
And underappreciated. And I think that just anyone that decides to take on that career path is, first of all, such a headstrong individual to be able to do that, because not only do you have to really think of yourself, but you also have to think about these students, and that's a lot of pressure there. So I commend you for
Thank
being able
you.
to do that, and also for enriching, like, just being able to help someone in their daily life. So
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
that.
I love it.
How did he fall into it?
So actually, Mimi Sharp,
Mm-hmm.
we are best friends, and everything, and so I was looking for a job. I knew that working in corporate America in an office was not for me. It's not what I wanted to do. I'm not full-time drag now. Definitely was not full-time drag then. So I was like trying to find a field that I could go into that I would enjoy, that I would like, that would pay the bills and help me until I could do drag full-time. And Mimi was like, I don't know if you'd be into this, but you should apply to work at the school that I work at. It's a school for kids with autism and developmental disabilities. And I was like, okay, I'll look into it. I'll think about it. And I've always loved kids. When I was younger, I used to volunteer at the church I went to growing up. I volunteered at their preschool.
Nice.
I would always like work at camps. Like I love kids, and I at one point in my life wanted them. And so I was like, well, you know what? Let me try it out. Like let me just see how it is. I grew up with a couple kids that had developmental disabilities, and I was just kind of always naturally helping them. And so I did it and I loved it, and it's just something I enjoy. I left for a short time during the pandemic just so I could try to make more money because of what the world was going through. But then I ended up back because I was like, I miss it. I miss the kids. I miss the work that I was doing, and I'm just really happy to be back now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure that that is very fulfilling.
It is, yeah. I
It's
love it.
it definitely not do it for the money.
No.
It's definitely done for the fulfillment
Yeah.
and just the love and passion for it. So that shows a lot about you.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
Come on, teacher.
Contrary to popular belief, I'm a nice person.
I mean, we were talking about this the other day. We got lists, girl, for both of us. It's like another one. Thank you.
And I sleep just fine with the fan on.
Same. Cheers.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers to the haters.
I said that during a show, I think last weekend, I was like trying to stall for the DJ, and I was like talking about whatever, and my coworkers were there, so I started talking about it, and I was like, contrary to popular belief, I'm actually a good person. Just honest.
I mean, hey, you are. I mean, people are just
Yeah.
people are people.
People are people.
They really the things that like people won't like understand, unless they really like know you, you know, and also if they don't actually take the time to get to know you,
Right,
they
yeah.
won't.
Well, and it's just also one of those things of like, one, humans, we are animals, and we all have natural instincts, and we're not meant to get along with everybody, and that's okay. We just have to be able to coexist, and I'm not perfect. I know that I've made mistakes, but like, we have to learn how to coexist with each other. If you don't like somebody, that's okay. But like, just don't bother each other.
Exactly.
Focus on yourself, do your own thing, and if you end up in a space where you're together, just coexist. You don't have to talk to each other. If you want to say hi, but don't go out of your way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's how I live my life. If you don't like me, don't talk to me. If I don't like you, I'm not going to talk to you. If it's a mutual dislike for each other,
Then boom. Even
okay,
better.
work, mama.
Exactly. I mean,
Period,
that is
bitch.
exactly how I feel. Like,
So,
I never. I'm always the type of person that if I have issues with someone or if I don't like someone,
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't worry about them. I don't think
For
about
sure.
them. Like, I'm Gucci on that.
Yeah.
But I will always be civil.
For sure.
And I will always give a compliment if it is deserved.
Deserved,
you know?
yeah, absolutely.
Because if I'm like, I don't like you, but bitch, you look sickening,
Yeah,
I
very
will
true.
tell you.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only interactions.
Absolutely.
Other than that, that's it.
I agree.
I am very, very straight up and honest.
Yeah.
And direct. People don't like that about
I've
me.
always known you to be that way. I've never questioned that. So, but that's, I mean, we live in a world where that's what people want, but they don't really want it.
Yes.
Because the way that we have been raised in our society is to be so cognitive of how people feel, and rather than just being honest and risk hurting their feelings, we create lies, or
Yep.
we just change it up and we're softer with it. But it's all about delivery, it's all about intent, and I think everybody should just say how you feel.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point in lying? What is that going to do? What does that solve?
It just makes shit worse, honestly.
Yeah, like, and then you have to keep track of what you said. And so it's just, say how you feel. Say it with your chest.
And just be open to getting feedback and kind of having a dialogue. 'Cause, I mean, it's all communication, honestly.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
all about communication. This past Monday,
Yes.
we had the ball as the episode for the Drag Master.
Yes.
And not only were you there in attendance, you were there as a judge.
I was.
Rightfully so.
I feel like it's correct.
I mean, rightfully so.
And I feel moving forward that if I'm not the judge of something involving fashion for Drag Master, you clearly don't like me. You're clearly trying to come for me. And you're really rude. And unprofessional.
Okay, so those were 2 truths and a lie.
You can decide. Leave them in the comments down below.
But it was the ball challenge, and we had 3 categories, and we wanted to do an art ball because we love art.
Yes.
And art is a huge, huge subject in schooling and academics because it truly gives the creatives like us an outlet in school that sometimes can be fucking shitty.
Yeah.
So art was like, you know what? Sounds correct. So
Yeah,
let's do it.
absolutely.
So our first category is art through the ages. So
Yes.
it's just a look inspired by an art movement
Yes.
or art history. Our second look was inspired by art pop, the Lady Gaga album, which you are a huge Lady Gaga fan, so I'm sure you were ready for that.
I was ready.
And then our last category was Walking Masterpiece, which is an outfit that was created by unconventional art materials.
Yes.
So, first of all, sorry, class 2, not trying to be shady, but we had a meeting with all the students. It was our orientation, as I called it. Bitch, I sent them a lesson plan. Like, we are it, bitch. We are branded, honey.
I will say, I have mad respect for y'all because y'all turned this into an LLC. Like, it is a business. And y'all, like, it is, like, one of the most professionally ran competitions.
Oh, thank you.
For real, though. And I feel like
you.
people don't talk about that.
Aw.
And I feel like we should talk about that.
I appreciate that.
Because really, though, like, it shows how serious you are. And, like, I mean, yeah. Like, I don't have words because I'm like, that's how it should be done. And you're doing it.
Thank you.
And I feel like when you look at the crowd, you should see that the work you're doing is paying off.
To be honest, sometimes it's hard to see that with all of, like, the stress and everything. But I do think there's times in the moment, in the day where I'm like, you know what? It's fucking sickening.
Yeah.
It's sickening what you're doing. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Yes.
Thank you. But yes, we had a ball. Not only metaphorically and literally speaking.
Okay.
But it was just, back to what I was saying. I got sidetracked. The orientation. So, at the orientation, we went over every single challenge in detail.
Yes.
And songs and everything.
Yes.
Phoebe. I confused my own children. I'm sorry, Phoebe.
Hi, baby. Hi. No.
That worked. Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. They said skirt. Do it. She's like, no. She's not for it.
Take notes. Run, bitches.
Run, hoes, run. So I told them. Now going back to the story, when we got to the ball, I was like, "All we want from you is to do better than season 2." Like that's what we said. I was like,
I will say, they brought it in the ball where season 2 did not, but season 2,
brought
if
it
I
in the lip
remember
syncs.
correctly, brought it in the lip syncs where no one has brought
brought
it
it
in the
in the
lip
lip syncs
syncs
this
this
season.
season.
Yes, I, it's a phenomenon. I don't know what's
It's
going
not
on.
a phenomenon because that means it was fun, good.
Oh yeah, you're
It
right.
was a disaster. I was gonna
It's
say
a what's it
this
called?
would be the fastest Drag Master season ever if you would have just done a double elimination like you should have every week.
I
It said,
can't.
put me on the panel. They're all getting zeros.
Soy as the judge. 10, 10, 10 for everyone.
Absolutely not.
Not at all. Not at all.
Never.
Soy Queen. Yes. Let me know, since you were there
Yeah.
as a judge,
Yeah.
who were your personal standouts for all 3 categories?
I will say Anonymous, Jack, and Rulin.
Ooh, okay.
In order, Anonymous, Rulin, Jack. But yeah, those are my 3 standouts.
Okay, what was your favorite looks from Anonymous? And, like, from each of them, which one was your favorite?
Like, if I had to pick out of all of them?
Mm-hmm. Well, like
all 3 of
all 3 of their favorites.
So, out of theirs, I would have to say... I mean, this is why they won, because all 3 were incredible. I'm gonna have to probably go with... I really want to say the last one that they did, but I kind of think I'm gonna say my answer is the first one. Because how cunt to come out in a wig, a pair of pleasers, and a thong. Like, that is cunt.
And bitch said...
And then the bitch laid on a chair and said,
paint me.
"You're welcome." Then got up, picked up a picture frame, busted out the painting, and put it on their ass.
Mm-hmm. And said, "This is the real one.
This is art." Like, to me, that's just fierce.
It was
like,
performance art, literally.
It was performance art. It was unique. It was campy. It was funny. It was smart.
Uh-huh.
It was drag.
It was.
And then it's just like, it's unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. And it's also like, sorry, not to cut you off. It's also just body positivity and confidence. Like, that in itself is just a message.
I definitely agree. When we were going over what our ideas were going to be, or what their ideas were going to be for that, and they mentioned like being like basically naked on stage, and I was like, yes, bitch,
yes,
fucking do it,
yeah.
Because I mean, they've seen a lot of different things from Anonymous, but they haven't really seen kind of just being vulnerable in that, just and
that takes a lot to like. No matter how confident you are, and I feel Anonymous is a very confident person, like, no matter how confident you are, to be able to go on stage in nothing but pleasers, a wig, and a thong. And
literally.
Art, mama.
Art.
It's like, I was like, they gave.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving mother.
Literally.
They ate. Like, it was just incredible.
It was sickening.
It was incredible.
Fucking sickening.
So I'm gonna say that.
Okay. What about for Rulin?
The last one. The last look, I thought was the best.
But Rulin painted all of that.
I wanted to know if they did, because it was gorgeous.
It is canvas fabric.
I knew it. I knew it was.
It was canvas fabric, and the bitch painted all of that.
That's fierce. It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. And I will say, disclaimer, because I know we're going to talk about it, I said who my top 3 were, but we saw who the top 3 was, and going based off of the category and the challenge, it was not fully met.
Yeah.
Which being unconventional material. Yes, I know we don't wear canvas sacks, but like, going back to my fashion school experience, like, we used canvas and muslin and things that are very similar as like fabrics to test patterns.
Right.
And some people do wear that stuff like for working.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So it's really not that unconventional.
No. So like they ate and they gave and they were in my top 3. Like it was honestly between Anonymous and Rulin for me on who was gonna win.
Cute.
But because of that, I was like, okay, and it knocked them out, but they're still safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, bitch, that last look.
It was sickening. It was
Like the mustache, the headpiece.
Yeah, especially with the hair.
And
like,
then the
oh my gosh,
like the way that the things, like the braiding and everything for the like, it was gorgeous.
it was gorge.
It was art.
It was gorge. What about for Jack?
So, I want to say it was the last one because it was constructed so well out of unconventional materials. And I don't know if her inspiration was this, but it was giving like 80s, 90s. I can't remember what year. I think it was the 90s.
It was.
McQueen
With
with the
the-
spray dress
yep.
and the spinning.
Uh-huh.
It was giving that. And I really wish that she would have had, like, and it doesn't have to be these type of people, could be anybody,
Right.
but like sexy, fine ass men just come out shirtless.
Yeah.
And then they're all standing there with different colored spray cans, and she's just posing, and they're
That
spraying
would have
her.
been production value. That would have been
Yeah,
sickening.
and then the bow that was here, I wish she would have copied that and put it over here. And bitch,
It would have been.
yeah,
Because if you
Yeah.
draw your eye, because like one thing about fashion that I like is like
Yeah.
where does the eye take you?
yes, it's
So-
a story.
Yeah, so you got to start at the top, right? So if you start
Yeah.
off at the top, that's your first focal point, and then you
Yeah.
kind of go here,
Yeah.
then here, then here, right? You're like
Yeah.
going. You can really
Uh-huh.
direct the people towards your outfit.
Yeah.
So
And,
that
like,
would have been cute.
That small bow was giving like, I'm cutesy like little girl, but I wanted her to be like, no, I'm a badass bitch on the runway in Milan, walking for Alexander McQueen.
And this is Drea.
And this is what I'm giving, mama. But I loved that, but I do want to say, and this, I feel this was a controversial opinion.
Okay.
Because everybody I talked to literally has disagreed with me. Her first look ate. I
first
loved
look
it. She did the
was,
statue.
Oh, bitch, I loved it too.
I thought that was so fashion.
it was.
It took me to top model during that challenge.
It really did.
It was giving, like, it gave so much. So I'm going to say her first look as well was my favorite out of her 3. You asked me about Jack, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I'm like over here just wait, like on a tangent. But no, her first look as well.
It's sickening. Okay,
It was
so-
so good, but everyone I've talked to has been like...
They disagreed?
No, they didn't like it.
Oh well, whatever. They don't know fashion.
And then the comment about, I wish it was either all white or all gray, I wanted to snatch the microphone and be like, I completely disagree with that.
I disagree
No,
with that as well.
I disagree with that.
So one critique though that I would have given
Yeah.
was that I do wish that the mask had more detail to it other than just being blank. I know that it was more like on a statue, but like you could have still played with dimensions on the mask and still try to give that like statuesque, statue thing, because you can give texture, right?
Yeah.
You know-
they did have, I did notice that they did have little, I'm assuming it was made out of like, the colored paper.
Oh,
craft
cardboard paper?
Cardboard paper. They did have little white...
construction paper.
Construction paper cut out like bottom
They did.
eyelashes.
Okay.
Because I was like, at first I was like, is that too simple? But then I was like, no, it's strategically simple. And
Because
I thought
everything
the same,
else is a lot.
it's minimalistic. And then I thought the same thing with the mask, and then I noticed that... Oh, I touched the mic, sorry. And I was like, no, I like that, because I'm afraid that if more was added to the mask, it would take away from that mixture of, like, ancient Roman art and
Yeah.
modernism.
You're right.
So I thought it was perfect. I loved it.
You know what? Once you see, that's why you got to talk through shit. When you talk through
We
things,
gotta talk things out.
you got to talk things out, and you're right. That makes a lot of sense.
Can we get that in recording? She said I'm right. That's all I heard. We're good. We're done. We can.
Okay,
cut.
don't act like I
We can
never
go
say
home.
that other
Is the
people are
bus
right.
Still running. Oh, I don't care about other people. It's about me, bitch. This is my moment.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so those were your standouts.
Yes.
I honestly, I would definitely agree with you. Anonymous was a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Completely, obviously. My favorite for me was definitely the last.
Yeah.
the last piece. It
Yeah.
was the Unconventionals Walking Masterpiece. Bitch got pool noodles and yarn.
Yeah.
And created this great,
Yep.
iconic, shaped
Uh-huh.
dress, like, of halos, like,
Yeah.
floating rings.
Yeah. And they were all different sizes.
Like,
and
it was
like,
just...
the wires that they used to, like, it gave illusion. And, like, I told them in their critique, the only thing that I wanted because of, like, district stage lighting is just a little darker makeup so that we can see the artistry.
Yeah.
But then that added gold and blue because they were giving, like, Queen of Africa, Queen of the Islands. And so I just wanted that gorgeous, like, artwork on the face. But it was just...
It would have tied it all together.
Yeah, but it was perfect. It was perfection. Like, it was giving...
gorgeous.
I wish they were an extra in Doja Cat's Woman music video.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it gave.
That's definitely... It was one of my favorites, honestly. Because I couldn't imagine it. Like, I mean, Anonymous sent me sketches, and I was like, okay, like, it's really cute. And, like, I just want to see how this bitch pulls it out. And when I saw Anonymous come out, I was like,
And I told them, I was like... I had to talk myself down because I had very high expectations for them. And I was like, I have never not liked something that this bitch has put on their body.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm expecting, especially for that last one.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see art.
And boom.
And I was like, okay, now remember, this is a weekly competition. Like, they have a lot to focus on. So just take in what you get. And I had everything I needed.
Yeah.
I had
and
everything
some.
I need.
And then some.
It was incredible.
It was fucking sickening.
Yeah. Bottoms.
Bottoms, yes. So, tell me, Soy...
All of them.
All of them?
I'm just kidding. All of them but Anonymous.
All of them but... Damn! Okay. So, who were, in your eyes, the ones that were not standouts?
The ones that ended up in the bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was...
LSD, Godiva, and...
Rulin.
Well, Rulin was only in the bottom because of technicality. So the bottom two were my absolute bottoms.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like, I feel like Anonymous was consistently number one the whole night for me. Mm-hmm. For me, at least. And then it kept flipping back and forth. I'm going to say between Jack and Rulin.
Okay.
As, like, the top. And then everybody else was extremely close. It was by, like, 1 point. Or they had the same score. Mm-hmm. But the bottom two were in the bottom the whole night for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What, now, out of them, what was it that really just brought it down for you? Like, what was it that, in your opinion, was not helping their look?
I feel like all the concepts were there. It was just execution. And, like, I know, especially being at the point in drag where they are, how hard it is to come up with stuff. Like, not come up with as in creating the idea, but getting the materials to create the look. I know it's extremely difficult, especially when you're doing a competition like this where it's weekly. But it was honestly just execution.
Yeah. I think that definitely was, like, a few people's number one enemy.
Yeah.
Was time and execution.
For sure. And, like, I'm sure there's other challenges that are hard. And everybody has something that's harder for them. But I feel like when it comes to this type of challenge, like I said earlier, where, like, the look and fashion is kind of looked down on. But as you see all the time when it comes to these competitions where you have to do 3 looks in one night, and one of them you have to create how many times people fail and don't do well, and it's because you don't realize how much work it is to put a successful overall look together.
Exactly. And I mean, every single time that I have a chance, I mention to the students, details, details, details.
Yeah.
Like, I am so tired of saying details, details, details.
Yeah.
And that's why like when it comes to fashion and like putting a look
Mm-hmm.
together, the first thing you want to do is make sure that those details all make sense
Yeah.
together. They're
Yeah.
all cohesive. If you're missing a detail, then make sure to put that detail in there.
Yeah.
Elevate them, switch things up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's hard to be able to put a look
Yeah.
together, right?
Yeah.
So this challenge is one of the toughest, in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah. I agree. It's a lot because it's like you have to be like, yeah, you can carry, because like Rulin, what I liked, something that she did was carry the same type of theme
Yes,
throughout
yes.
each look, and so you can do that, but at the same time she was still able to create a whole new look. You know what I mean? It was different every time.
Right.
And so when you have to do stuff like that, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of thinking and editing and trying to figure out the details. And then when you have to execute it, it's like, that's really tough.
That's where you become an engineer,
Yeah,
bitch. That's
literally.
where you become a
Yeah,
fucking scientist, a
agree.
mathematician, an alcoholic.
Okay, but no, it's true though, because like, and it, like, especially if you're on a budget and you just don't have the money put aside to do that yet, it's like, okay, well, I have this idea on how to create this, but I'm on a budget. So where do I put my money? Where do I put my time?
Yep.
And that turns into what needs cut, what needs to be edited, and what can I makeshift to make it actually work. So I feel like the both of them, it was just editing and it was details and it was execution, and they're both still so new from my knowledge that they haven't fully had enough stage time to know, okay, in this certain type of lighting, I need to paint darker and I need more saturation, I need more color. And then just thinking about things like that, with time, it'll come. And that's why I
For
wanted
sure.
to, like when I was talking to Godiva, I really wanted to make it a point in LSD, like, right now this is where you are, but if you keep working hard and pushing and focusing on what you're good at, the look will come. That all comes. Like,
Honestly,
that all comes. Because we all
yeah.
start off that way.
Yeah, well,
Except for a select few. There's a select few that...
I mean, there are a couple pictures of me that looked horrible,
There's a lot of pictures of me where I looked fucking horrible.
but there's also a lot of pictures where I look decent. But now I look gorgeous.
You look gorgeous.
So do you, bitch.
Oh, thanks.
Look at us, 10 years.
10 years.
Well, 11 for me, but...
It'll be 9 this year, 10 next year.
Oh my gosh, bitch. We're old.
We're the old ones now.
We are. The kids look up to us.
Well, they look up to me, you're short.
True.
Yeah.
Listen, I live in the world of tall people, okay? Like, I hate it. No, I love it. I like being short.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being short.
It's like, oh, I can't get it. I always use that excuse for everything. Well, I can't reach.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can, actually.
That's what happens when you're on the bottom. That was a bad segue back to bottoms.
So, talking about bottoms.
I love them.
Don't we all? Drink to that. Cheers.
I'll drink to that.
So at the end of the night, we had to watch two lovely individuals go at it in the expulsion lip sync. We had LSD, and we also had Godiva in the bottom two. They lip synced to the song Frida Kahlo by Lion Babe.
Which is a cute song. I've never heard it before, and I was like, this is cute.
Isn't it cute?
I like it.
I chose that song.
Yes.
I chose it.
It's cute.
Because obviously it's Frida Kahlo, because it's my...
Okay.
I mean, that's my bitch. So
Obviously.
it's such a cute song.
Yes.
I love it. So, and it just, I mean, it fit the theme.
Yeah.
Fucking the art ball. Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could have done art pop, but that's stupid. Sorry. No
I was
offense.
tired of hearing the same song the whole night.
Right.
I was like, bitch, where was Mary Jane Holland?
Uh-huh.
Where was Aura? Where was Manicure? Where was Jewels and Drugs?
Wasn't hair in it too?
Where was Hair? No, Hair
No.
is the Born This Way album.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Where was there were so many other options. I was like, why are we all doing the same song?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's something that did not give.
Yeah.
I was like, if I was them and maybe like in the future, I'd have everybody say what they're doing and then be like, no repeats.
That is one note that I definitely put as a takeaway from this past episode. Because every episode I write down takeaways for next season, so that way we know what not to do next time.
Yeah.
So.
I loved it because I loved the idea, but I was like, why are we it was like the Madonna runway on Drag Race.
Literally.
A lot of kimonos.
Yeah. But yeah, so we had an expulsion lip sync.
Yes.
And the person that ended up going home was LSD, unfortunately. So what were your thoughts on the lip sync? I know that this season has been the lip sync. It's been an epidemic of whisper lip syncs. It has been a pandemic of
boring
lip
not
syncs.
Good.
It has been a plague of, I will say, lack of energy type of lip syncs, So.
Yeah. I will say this one, I feel, I wasn't there. I've been to every week except week 2. So I don't know what week 2's lip sync looked like, but I've heard stories.
Well, okay. Well, hold on, because I will say though. Sorry to cut you up.
Oh, okay.
I will say though that the lip sync between Ellis and Luminous was good.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say that one was better than the others. I will say this one has been the best. I feel, because this one everybody knew the words.
True.
But I will say that none of them, in my opinion, have gave. I feel like I would have been doing a lot of double eliminations. And if you have to do an episode where you bring people back, like they've done in makeover challenges or something, then maybe do that. But it just goes to show that, well, I'm not going to say the people have also killed the looks, but it just goes to show that, and I'm aware, people watching this, that I do not buck and twirl. That is not the only type of entertainment out there, thank you. But this just goes to show why stage presence and entertaining is very important. And people forget that as drag entertainers, no matter what type of drag you do, at the end of the day, our job is to make the bar money.
Exactly.
And you have to have a following, and you have to be entertaining, and you have to be professional. And that is why entertaining is very important. Not everybody has that skill. It will eventually come to some over time.
Yes.
But I will say the comments on Facebook about how some people have gave and how some people have ate, I do not agree. No one has gave, nor has anybody ate. I'm actually famished. I need a sandwich. I'm extremely hungry. I'm starving.
Give this bitch some food!
Please help me. I'm hungry.
25 cents a day.
You too could feed Soy Queen. So I would encourage our entertainers in this competition, and we've not seen all of them lip sync, but to do open stages, to do cameos, to be hot spots. If you can get a paid opportunity, great, but get experience on stage.
That honestly is the best advice we could give someone.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I always gravitate towards when it comes to entertainment and entertainers is stage presence.
Yeah.
If your stage presence is,
fierce
on stage, I'm like, you know what? I fuck with you.
And like, not everybody is gonna buck and twirl. A lot of people try, and only a few are good at it. So like it's important to be.
I'm amazing at bucking and twirling.
You are like the lip sync assassin, dancing diva of Columbus.
I am Columbus's premier bucking queen.
She's like the next Kennedy Davenport.
I am the next. Kennedy Davenport no longer is the bucking diva of drag. It is I.
Did you notice that cough? She was choking trying to say that. It's not true.
I was choking my elegance, bitch.
But no, it's just like there are different types of ways to be entertaining.
Yes.
There are people who can stand on the stage. V Love, my drag mother, when she took me under her wing, one of the things that she told me she said, a lot of people will try to stand on stage and lip sync a ballad, and they will fail miserably. And she was like, so when you're ready, you can try it, but not everybody's meant to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, if I can't dance and I can't do that, then what's the point of doing drag? Because how am I going to perform? And she told me her opinion. I know people probably don't agree, but she said I'm one of those people that can do it. And it's like, you don't have to buck and twirl.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to move with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just flail around stage, which I feel a lot of people do, as they just flail around stage in hopes that something will work. And it's like, move with a purpose. You know what I mean?
Listen, you were brought on this earth for a reason, bitch. You should move like that too. Move with a purpose.
Move with a purpose.
Exactly.
That's gonna be
I completely agree. Like
move with a purpose.
I totally agree though, because that's one thing that I've been doing actually lately.
Moving with a purpose.
I've been trying to move with a purpose. I've been like I'm trying to put more effort into my numbers and putting more concepts and like thinking of like little choreography to do at certain parts and
Right.
things like that, because those little details will show
Yeah. Yeah.
that it will give that polish level to it. And
Yeah.
so I completely agree, and that's why when it comes to drag, you're always evolving, you're always growing.
Yeah, you should always
and
be
always
growing.
always learning. So just,
Yeah.
as Zoe said, get any opportunity that you
Yeah.
can to perform.
And-
work on honing that skill set and work on,
Yeah.
on getting that stage presence to the point that that the crowd will start.
Yeah. And as
Reading
somebody
into
who and you know this, as somebody who hosts shows and book shows, I have a ton of people messaging me, not only from drag, but my day job and friends. And I'm the first person to say I'm not always the best at responding or
Same.
reading a message.
Same.
And it's not because I don't care. It's just genuinely there's so much going on in my life that the last thing I'm thinking about is answering messages, especially from people I don't talk to on the regular. So I would say keep annoying show directors
Yes.
and show hosts.
Yes.
Yes, we will get annoyed by seeing that, but it's also good.
It gives you there's visibility
because
to you there.
yeah, because you're constantly reminding us, and then eventually one day, when we're going through messages, that will get opened and opportunities. Even to this day, not all of my bookings are just people reaching out to me. I still reach out to people all the time and ask, that's just a part of the game. That's how you get opportunity.
Honestly, it really is.
Yeah, and there's no shame in asking.
At all. Never is. And that's one thing that I with the Drag Master and the hot spots that we're doing this season, I really wanted to I'm calling it an initiative. it's an initiative, very businesslike.
Yeah.
To highlight as many new entertainers, or not even just new per se in drag, but just unknown or that have never been to District West or Columbus, so they can get more exposure.
Yeah.
And I actually am in the works on having mostly King performers for the finale.
That's amazing. I love
so
that.
I'm so fucking excited.
That's really good. I love that.
So it helps to with things like that annoy us, because I get a lot of messages.
Yeah.
Text, Facebook, Instagram, everything. So it's
yeah. And I will say too, in the beginning, I always hated when people would say, "Oh, I'll book you when you start coming to my shows and supporting my shows," which especially once I moved to Columbus, I was going out all the time. But before, when I had to drive an hour from where I grew up and then 2 hours when I was in college, it was harder to just be able to go out.
Right.
But once I moved to Columbus, I was going out all the time. But when people say go out to shows and support, whether you're in drag or out of drag, if you go out in drag, there's an opportunity to do a hot spot.
Yep.
If you go out,
be prepared.
Yeah, so be ready and just wear what you have on. Because I will say it's very annoying if you come out and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna come to the dressing room and get no, but you're gonna wear on stage what you got on right now. Go.
Yeah.
Or you just get to sit in the audience and people will come up and talk to you. And then if you're there out of drag, that's fine. Go up and introduce yourself. But going to shows and showing support, one, gets you in the mind of the show host or show director.
Yep.
And people that work at the bar. But our job is to make the bar money, and you make the bar money by having a following and bringing people to the bar to sell alcohol. And so if you're going out to the shows and you're mingling with the audience, you're now meeting people that go to that venue. And by meeting those people, they're going to be like, oh, I'm kind of interested in you.
Yeah.
When are you working here? Well, I'm not booked here right now, but here's my Instagram, here's my Facebook.
Yeah. Networking.
And then you get to see that ad posted when you finally get that hot spot or that booking. And then that's another patron to the bar that might not have come to that show.
Exactly.
So I encourage you to go out if you really want to work.
You heard it here, y'all. Soy says, go out, get fucked up.
Thank you. And if you're sober, drink water.
Yeah.
Or a pop. Do you say pop or soda?
I say soda.
I love that.
Yeah, isn't it cute?
I say pop, but I love soda. I love that. It's so cute.
So after the lip sync,
Yeah.
it was announced that LSD went home and Godiva stayed. Do you agree with that decision?
That's who I gave them the same score. But I knew who was staying. Like, in my head, I did the math. And I, for me, not speaking for anybody else, because I don't know what the others did, but for me, the way my scores fell, I knew that Godiva would stay after the lip sync, even if I gave the same score. In my opinion, though, I feel like all of the lip syncs so far, everyone should have gone home.
Okay.
Yeah, just because if it was based off of challenge and lip sync, challenges haven't been the best. I feel like the people in the bottom every single week have equally deserved to be there.
Right.
And then the lip sync's not giving. So
Yeah.
it's just, no matter how you do the mathematics.
But hey, we got a score system now.
But there's a score system. That's why there's there's four judges on the panel. It's all opinion based, and opinion is opinion.
So, because I mean, there was a lot of drama over the fact that first we didn't have a score.
Yeah.
We didn't have scores. It was just judging, right?
Yeah.
That was for the first season, and then the next season we decided to do scores.
Yeah.
And then for this season, we decided to do scores as well, but the lip sync scored as well, because then there was an issue with last season being that that it was basically just a lip sync thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is the fairest way to go about this.
Yeah, I get that.
But then also when you see the lip syncs and it's
So, I did the last season of Face Off, and my best friend Selena, I was there for all the other seasons, and I saw how things went. So I felt some type of way when I did Face Off, because I felt, and it was my opinion, I felt that there were more challenges that I should have won. And if I wasn't going to win, I at least was in the top 2. And then I felt like I should have been in the top 2 at the finale, based off track record and everything I did. But I knew that with how things were in the past, because Selena did basically the same thing that you did. And it was because people were getting mad and feeling like things were rigged or things were like this and that. And it's at the end of the day, a competition is all opinion based, and it's based off of, in pageantry, it's based off of 5 to 7 people on a judges panel, and it's all opinion. And then with your competition, it's new judges each week, but it's it's all opinion based, and it's just art is subjective.
it really
Everybody
is.
has an opinion, whether people like it or not. Everybody has an opinion. It's just part of life. And if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. But
Exactly.
But I get being in that position because you want to be fair and you want people to respect your decision.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, you can't please everybody.
No, that's what we're learning.
Yeah.
And
no matter what you do, someone's going to be pissed.
literally, honestly, no matter what you do. I said this in a comment earlier on Facebook, and I was like, people will always hate. There will always be a hater.
Yeah.
Especially if you are succeeding.
Oh, for sure.
How do you combat that? Focus on what you're doing and show them out with what you're doing, with your success.
Yeah.
Best way to combat that.
And when you're successful, that's all you need to worry about and do is continue being successful. Don't worry about getting somebody back or revenge. Like, just be you, bitch. Yeah. Keep living it up. And if you're successful and about that life, you don't have to talk about it.
Exactly.
If your life is good, why you gotta talk about it? Just keep living. Mama.
Exactly. Soy Queen, where can the viewers find you next? What are some upcoming events for you?
So, you can catch me every Friday at Toolbox at 11:30 p.m. hosting with Miss Toolbox 2023, Courtney Kelly. Yes, we're there every Friday. I will be performing at Mr. Toolbox, which is May 21st. It's a Sunday at 6 p.m. at Toolbox. Packets are available at the bar. The first 8 contestants to pay and submit their packet will be obviously allowed to compete. The theme for presentation is Disney. So you can come as any Disney character, and that will be May 21st. So if there are any male entertainers, come on out.
Hey.
That means kings included as well, as long as you identify as male entertainer. And then Memorial Day weekend, I will be in North Carolina. And I'll be performing in Greensboro at Chemistry Nightclub.
Come out, international
Yes,
queen.
and then there is a new bar that one of my friends, who I competed with at Miss Gay America, is now the host at for brunch. So I'll be doing that on Sunday, Memorial Day weekend. This video will be posted after this, so I'll be a winner. We're manifesting. Miss Columbus Gay Pride is this Saturday at Toolbox.
Hey.
So I'm competing for that this weekend and hopes to become Miss Ohio Gay Pride in December.
Yes, bitch, you better work.
So it's time to revisit that old chapter and take care of business.
Exactly, because you have new skill sets.
Yes.
New attitudes.
Yes.
New mindsets. New costumes.
New
rhinestones.
New
everything, bitch. It's a different Soy.
Mama.
It is a different Soy to go in and just close that chapter up.
And eat.
And eat, bitch. Now, I heard that you had a peeping Tom at some point. Is that true?
That's Anastasia.
Now, would you care if you gained more peeping Toms?
Yeah, as long as they give me money.
Well, good thing for you. The audience wants to know, where can they find you in the socials and medias?
Yes. If you want to see photos of me, which I've been slacking on, I'm working on, I promise. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at Full of Soy. FULLOFSOY. Full of Soy. Hashtag Full of Soy. Hashtag Soy Good.
Yeah.
If you want to see me letting bitches know about themselves and where to find me, you can catch me on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Soy Queen. You can just add my page, Soy Queen. That's all I do on there, is let people know about themselves. Update on some bullshit in the community.
Hey.
Who not to follow, what bar not to go to. And then where I'm at, where I'm hosting. And then every now and then I'll be goofy, I don't know, do some crazy shit.
Okay.
And then if you're enjoying yourselves, you can Venmo me at Soy Queen or Cash at me, $Soy Queen. I also have Apple Pay, I have Facebook Pay, I have PayPal. PayPal is fullofsoy@gmail.com. FULLOFSOYY@gmail.com. If you got my phone number, Apple Pay.
Hey.
If you see me in the streets, cash.
Hey. First of all,
I don't have Zelle. Don't ask me to get it. There are plenty other options.
Work, bitch.
And if you say you don't have the others, but you have Zelle, you're poor.
Work. Okay, see, now you know. Now you know that this bitch
wants money.
And
I clearly need money.
Clearly need some money, because look at this bikini.
Wasting away.
So tiny.
After watching all these lip syncs.
I know.
Wasting.
You're like shriveling.
I'm like that little thing in SpongeBob.
Chocolates! Chocolates! What are they selling?
I want to live forever.
That little shrivel. Oh my god. It's kind of cute though. It looks like a little
It
turd.
looks like a dry dog turd.
It's kind of cute.
You're into poop?
I mean, scat.
Oh my god, you are!
I like chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, I'm leaving with these earrings. The shit you just... Oh, literally just
Does
cut
the shit-
me through. I thought there was a smell.
Well, we do have 2 dogs. So it's heaven.
You're into shit, you do shitty drag.
Shitty drag. We have reached the segment of the show in which I ask you a fun question. Are you ready? If you were a farmer, what would you grow or what animals would you have?
I would grow... Well, I'm thinking logistics.
Okay, work.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, I want to hear the logistics though. I want to hear it. Come on.
I probably would do corn and soybeans.
Because that will make you more money.
You make more money.
Work, bitch.
And then animals, I'd have cows. Because they're so freaking cute.
They are.
So cute.
I wanted to one.
And that's like with my name, Soy Queen.
Yeah.
Even though soy milk is a bean.
Right. So it's not actually.
But that's like the irony of it all.
Right.
I have a soy gown. It was my first competition dress ever made. The irony of it all. And people are like, you know, soy is like not real milk. And I'm like, yeah. That's like the
whole
joke.
point. Like, you know, it's.
I'm smart. like.
You are Paris Hilton.
I literally am Paris Hilton. But no, I'd have corn and soybeans, and I'd have cows. I probably would have little goats because they're cute too.
Screaming goats. Oh my god! Or the little Billy goats.
I want the miniature ones.
So was it like that jump on each other?
They just jump around.
Oh my gosh.
I'd probably have some horses because I love them.
Yes.
The only thing I'm not having is fucking birds. I'm not having no chickens. They're gross. They're
What?
disgusting because they're gross.
How? Well, they're delicious.
They taste amazing. Same thing with pigs. I won't have pigs because they smell. I was in 4-H. I took horses and rabbits to the fair. The rabbit barn was by the bird barn. And you know what's fucking gross?
What?
The bird barn.
Oof.
Wednesdays they would wash their birds. Disgusting.
Gross.
And birds are mean.
Are they really?
Yes, they're mean. Yeah. They're gross and mean. They poop everywhere. They smell. And they're mean.
Feel like I'm getting attacked right now as a bird.
So
I'm not even a bird, and I feel like I'm like, damn.
This is why I have no issue eating chickens.
Okay, you're like,
gross. Oh my god, I was driving in the car, because I make drag jewelry part-time. I was driving in the car to my friend's house who I make the drag jewelry for, and there's a bunch of geese that live in his apartment complex. One of them hissed at my car. And literally the day before that, a goose at Franklin Park hissed at one of my dogs. So when that one did it the next day, when I was in my car, I almost backed up and ran over it. I was tempted, but it's illegal, so I didn't do it. Moving on. But no, I took rabbits and horse, and yeah, no, gross. Also, pigs, they smell like shit. The only pig I would have is like a miniature pig, because they're cute.
Oh, like a potbelly?
Yeah, I would have that.
They're so cute. Little
But I pretty much grew up as a farmer.
Really?
The only thing we didn't do was grow crops.
Oh.
But there were crops around us from other families. We just had animals.
Right. Well, I mean, you did mention like how your dad competed, right? So
yeah.
I assume that
we were like a horse and rabbit family.
Okay.
We almost got goats, but then my dad was like, talking to my mom. He was like, you'll be mad when one of them's on top of your car. And she was like, you're right.
Yeah.
So.
But they make good food too.
You've
never had a goat?
I've never had a goat.
Okay, we're gonna have to take you to like some Mexican restaurants so you can have some goat.
I'm so down for that.
Because it's so fucking good.
I love food.
So good. So good.
Goat.
My mom loves animals, but not in the house.
Yeah.
My dad loves animals, but also not in the house. So we always had everything outside.
Yeah.
And at one point, we had 50 rabbits.
We probably did at one point. So I took horses to 4-H first, and then I wanted to do rabbits. And one of my dad's friends had a really good bloodline of rabbits, so he gave us a couple. So we bred our own rabbits. And, like, the first set I took to the fair, whatever, and then we started breeding our own. And then, like, my whole until I turned 18
Holy
and everything.
Shit. So you've been breeding since when?
Mama. So yeah, and then we would like sell, like we would breed rabbits for people. They would buy our rabbits and take them to their fair and all of that stuff.
Rabbits are so cute.
Yeah, we had white New Zealand's, which is an all-white rabbit with red eyes, and then we had Californians, which is a white rabbit with dark eyes, and then they usually have black noses and black ears and like a black tail.
Shut up. Those are so cute.
Yeah.
Okay, so I honestly wish that I could have a fucking zoo in this house. Because I would have guinea pigs. I would have chickens. I would have cats. I would have dogs. I would have ducks. I would have chickens. I would have fish. I would have like rabbits.
Yeah.
I would have little goats. Like, I want every single fucking animal.
Yeah.
Because I just love them so much, but I do not want to do any of the work.
I relate to that.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it because we're gay?
It's we're meant to be on top, and we're meant to be relaxing, enjoying life.
Right. It's the fact that we're drag queens, y'all.
What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer.
I'm an Aquarius.
I know. I know that about you. You mentioned that a while ago.
Those signs get along?
They do.
I don't know much about
yeah,
Cancers.
They do. I have. So in two Aquariuses in my entire lifetime. Both of them. Well, one of them is a best friend. The other one was a best friend, but we had a falling out.
Yeah.
So I get along very well with Aquariuses
Word.
because of the fact that y'all are so kind of like open thinking and kind of just like beyond, I guess, in a way, that it allows for my weirdness to kind of just like cultivate as well, and all of that. So I get along very well with Aquarius. Aquarii.
Brit's a Virgo.
Oh, I get along well with
he's
Virgo
very
as well.
like control freak, and I'm like chaos.
I'm a Virgo rising.
Okay.
So that means that I am also a control freak.
Yeah.
But in certain aspects.
Right.
Certain aspects, not all the time. But I'm just emotional as fuck, honestly. But I keep it under control.
Okay.
Meaning I don't talk about it.
That means you're gay.
Yes! Trauma!
Trauma Mama.
Trauma Mama.
We should make a musical called Trauma Mama.
Trauma Mama, and it's like a take on Mamma Mia.
Mia, but gay. Well, I mean, Mamma Mia's gay, but like trauma.
Trauma.
More than a mom dying.
Yeah, definitely. It's we can pull a lot of my trauma for that.
Trauma Mama. I'm crying again.
Trauma Mama. How'd I end up in a K-hole? No, I don't know.
Let's not revisit my past, please. I feel triggered.
Is this when you were a drug lord?
Well, I mean, I did live in the hood for a bit, so I had to make do. Mi querida Leche.
Sí.
Hemos llegado al fin de nuestro capítulo.
Sí.
¿Lo puedes creer?
Sí.
For y'all that don't know, I just said that Soy is a horrible, horrible fucking bitch.
I'm fluent.
I'm just kidding. No. We have reached the end of the episode. It was so much fun having you.
Thank you.
I loved getting to know more about you and more about your fashion and you basically being a fucking farmer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, a fucking farmer.
I like Miss Fame, but poor.
But not with chickens. You hate chickens.
Yeah, I hate fucking chickens.
Miss
Gross.
Fame has the whole ass fucking chicken tattoo.
Yeah.
So,
No.
yeah, no, never mind. But I had so much fun with you here, and I hope that you had fun as well.
I had fun as well. This is just a clear sign that I need to be involved more as a judge.
I agree. I honestly was very, very happy with your critiques and your style of judging, because I will always say that no matter how much experience one has, not everyone is able to be a good judge.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially when it comes to a competition or a pageant.
Yeah.
Because if you do not know how to properly give constructive criticism.
Yeah. And I was a competitor my whole life, so I've gotten bad criticism, I've gotten good criticism. Like, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, so I was very happy, and I had no doubt. So I will say I enjoyed seeing you out of
Oh,
drag,
thank
because I felt like you
you.
were just kind of like very comfortable and
Yeah.
just, like just so relaxed.
Well, and that's like, I wanted to be in drag, but like I messaged you because of my job. Like, my back was hurt that day.
Right.
And then I ended up not even getting home until like 6:30 because of traffic.
Right.
So, which I could have gotten in drag in time, but with my back, I was like, no. But I was like so disappointed because I was like, I feel so unprofessional because I said I was going to be here in drag and here I'm not in drag, and like I just felt some type of way. So I'm glad I got to do this because, one, I'm glad I got to do it, but then also I could make up for not being in drag. But I was just like, but now people get to see me out of drag because I feel like people look at a drag character or persona and they
Just see
perceive
the
people a certain
illusion.
way.
Yeah.
And like Soy is very, you can't tell the bitch anything, and I'm going to tell you how I feel, and it's very confident, strong about that life. But then Hunter is very reserved and more quiet.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, glad I got to show people that side. And then I feel like with competition, you hear a lot of like positive feedback when there should have been constructive criticism given and not 100% positive feedback. And so I feel like people seeing me out of drag, they got to know that like what I'm saying is real, and it's not just me trying to show face or be a character. It's
sure.
like a human being talking to a human being.
It's more personable, I think, because to be honest, like even being in drag is kind of intimidating for people. So
Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
But I enjoyed having you at the episode, and it was such a great time. It was so much fun.
Thank you.
And this was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I just want you to know that you are more than welcome to come over whenever you want.
I would love that.
And we're definitely going to have a horror movie marathon.
Yes, and we're eating cottage cheese
We're
with
eating cottage cheese with
taco seasoning. Oh my god, we have to plan that soon though, because that sounds amazing.
Okay. Well, we'll get it in the books.
Work.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And remember, follow Soy Queen on all social platforms, as well as send the bitch some money. Because you know what? Drag is expensive.
Yes, and make sure you're coming out each and every single Monday to District West at 8 p.m. for Drag Master, hosted by Hiliana Perez and AJ Quinn West.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. And also, remember, you are special. You're amazing. And you're beautiful. Don't let no other motherfucker tell you otherwise.
Put that on a bumper sticker.
Exactly. Bye.
Bye.